Good morning. It's Thursday the 22nd, I think it is, and I'm up in the Fisherfield group of mountains, I suppose you'd call them. That one, the big one directly behind me, is Slioch, it's called. I haven't done that yet. It's not on my plan today, but I'm right in the middle of an ultramarathon. It's an 8-day event, and I'm passing loads of runners on the bike, and they're also passing me. And it's very interesting. We're going up pretty much the same trail, but I'm heading up to these ones behind me. We can't see much of them at the moment, but that's my plan for today. And hello again. So it's about 10:05 to 12, and I'm making, I think, good progress. I've covered just nearly 5.5 kilometres on quite rough terrain, as you can see behind me, although there's a fairly good path, well, good enough path most of the way along. Just a brief summary. I had an early start this morning. I was up at 5:45 and breakfast and drove to Kinlochue, where I left the car, and then I had to cycle in about 10 or 12 kilometres on the mountain track. Reasonably good in the beginning, but it did deteriorate further on. But the main reason I wanted to come this way is because I saw these. See the slabs? And they just phenomenal piece of landscape. Absolutely stunning. So for years I've been looking at that, thinking someday I'm going to walk up this. So I haven't walked up it yet, but I'm on the way, and I just think it's fantastic looking. Isn't that fantastic looking? Okay, let's have a look. Wow, it's bone dry and no moss or anything, lichen, black lichen by the look of it, but absolutely bone dry and so much grip on it. It's just fantastic. Oh. Look at that. Oh, look at it. Fantastic. Well, I'm nearly at the top now. This is the end of the slabs hitting the grassy section, and I'm just going to up in the skyline, this little hillock there, little knoll, and I'm going to stop and get something to eat. I have never, ever, I think, been in any kind of a landscape like that. It's unbelievable. Several hundred metres. The nearest thing I can think of is the Burren, but of course that's flat and covered in, these clints and grikes, whatever the channels are. But this is almost like one enormous piece of rock. It's almost like the mountain itself, and everything has just been scraped off it. Yeah, it is. I'm really glad I came this way. It's a bit of a trek in to get here, but I'm really glad. That is, and this is just the small set of slabs. The bigger ones, as I said, a little bit further down the valley. 2 or 3 times the area of this. Yeah, it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. Anyway, time for breakfast, or second breakfast, or lunch, first lunch, whatever. So this is the summit of Scorban, and my apologies for the poor quality of the audio here. The microphone wasn't sufficiently plugged in, and then it was extremely windy as well. The summit itself is an enormous boulder field of quartzite, and it extends down one side, the side I was coming up, for several hundred meters, which made for very, very tough going. But I'm on the summit. Okay, I'm just down below the summit of that first Munro. I think it was very windy on that recording there. So that's Scorban, I think 989 meters, and the first of the day. Wow. So it's just after 3 o'clock. So it's taken me 5 hours, 5 hours from the bicycle to get to here. So that's been a tough day. Probably took a little bit longer than I thought. On the other hand, I'm heading for home now, just 2 more in this direction, and I hope they come out on the camera. So the big one here is right in front. It mightn't seem too big from with this camera. Mulloch Cordy, Mulloch Cordy Vicarica. No, it's not. It's not that, but it's something like that. And the third one over there is the one with all the gullies coming down it. Ben Tarsoon, it's called. So if you see the saddle, the lowest point there in the ridge, so go over and this and then the other side. I'm going to drop my bag there and then up and down to the third one. And then it's straight down a reasonably good path all the way back to the bicycle. And but this is the Fisherfield forest and my first time in this area, and it is just mighty, absolutely mighty. Mind you, the weather definitely helps. There was a terrible slog coming up that one there. It was boulders and stones at a steep angle for several hundred meters, 300 or 400 meters, and it was tough going. But I've had a drink, I've had some food, I've had a nice snack, and I have an apple now to eat on the way down. So yeah, I reckon about what's just at the 3 o'clock now. I'd be closer to 5, I think, when I'm up at the summit of the next one. I see 2 people up there at the moment. Okay, hello again. Well, I've just come back down from the second Munro. That's it in the background there with lots of scree on it. Mulloch Cordy Vicarica, I think it's called, and 10,018 meters. I didn't film anything going up or coming down. It was a bit spicy, to be honest. Then there's a guy I met on the top. We were chatting for ages, so that was quite nice. Yeah, it was a little bit spicy. So we didn't have to come up and over that one because there's a bypass track much lower down. So then I'm looking at Ben Tarsoon, which is my final one of the day. It's 6:15. This is the summit of Ben Tarsoon, 937 meters, and my third and final Munro for today. And my goodness me, I've been on summits in Scotland, but this has to be one of the finest views I think I've ever seen. It's absolutely incredible. The actual summit is just there. This is close enough for me. It's a precipitous drop on the far side. You would have seen it in the video looking across. There's the 2 summits I climbed earlier. That one there is Scorban, and Mulloch Cordy Vicarica. There was a substantial ascent and descent, then skirt around the little thing there and up onto this one. I left my bag down below because that's the direction I'm heading. I'm just going to, I don't know how much is going to come out on this. It's just fantastic, just superb. So the cone over there is one called Ruastack Moor, and the one to the left is Avajan, and it's estimated to be the most remote Munro in Scotland because of the distance from any kind of road or public transport. And if you can see further out, you're looking at the sea inlet, much further out. just spinning around. I'm not going at that knife edge, that looks spectacular enough. But I don't know if you're going to pick up that flat table. It's nicknamed the tennis court. You might be able to just see it. And then I think that's Loch and Fodda down below there. A lovely ridge mountains there, looking across into Torridon. Big ones in Torridon. That huge big lump of a thing is one called Sleoch. You would have seen it from much lower down, from a different angle. Most people climb it from the other side. It's a very, very long day. I think I might repeat this, cycle into the loch and do it this way. And then down this direction, you can see Loch and Fodda, and you might just make out a beach at the very end. And just back from that, it's where I have the bike parked. That's going to be a long trek down through the valley, out, pick up the bike, and then probably in the dark there, and then probably about an hour cycle. It's rough at the beginning, the track is, but it picks up the further on I go, and there's a lot of downhill. So hopefully by the time we get back to Kinlochhuey, I'll be coasting downhill. It's cold. It is. I have 3 layers on. I have a thermal layer and fleece and this windproof. Earlier, coming up, I could see my breath coming out. It was that cold. So we're heading for not far off 0, I would say, in the wind chill.